Hi there! So I really got back into planning this year and I thought why not just film some videos and go from there. So this is hopefully the first of many planner and other lettering thing videos, but well, we'll see how this goes. So in this video, I'm going to be setting up my new Hobonichi Weeks for 2023 and also just setting up my planners for April in general, since that is, as of this filming time, the upcoming month. So yeah, let's get started on that. So for the past 4 months, I've been using the Hobonichi Day-Free in the original A6 size, but I recently got this Hobonichi Weeks as a spring edition, meaning it starts in April. The great part about the weeks is that they actually have March calendar and weeklies printed as well. So I received my weeks in the first half of March, so I've been testing it out. So I've got my appointments color-coded in here, and on the sidebar over there I have my focus things. So this is stuff that I don't want to get pushed to the wayside. I quite like having this feature, though I might bump it down a bit during decorating just because, but I'll do that in a bit. So the weeklies are really why I got the weeks in the first place, obviously. So I have split this page, this weekly page, into one two sort of column, where the smaller one's for appointments and the bigger one is for notes and anything date specific tasks. And then on the other side I use the secret 9 to create a section for meals of the day, and for the blank section I just use it to write whatever. So this is empty as of filming on Thursday, but on previous weeks I've used it to put grocery lists. I even have like video ideas, and I fill out some washi tape or stickers later on if I'm bored. So we'll see how this page fills out. I might change it as we go along. We'll see. This is an experiment so far. I do like it. I'll stick with it for now, but it might change. So I've had this planner for a while now, but I haven't truly set it up properly. But my TCMC goodies came yesterday, so it's really just in time for this video. I got these super cute pastel monthly tabs and 2023 vinyl for the front. So you may have already noticed I got some tabs going on top of the weeks for the yearly, monthly, and weekly. So I just want to add a tab for like the notes section here, and then do the months along the side for easy flipping. So just along the side here with the rainbow stuff. So I'll just do the notes first real quick because, well, it's easier. The weeks come with a number of like blank grid pages at the back, which I'm using for a list of things that like to reference more at a later date, things that are not really date specific, or like, you know, things that, well, I want to look at it across the year. I don't want to, it's not like for that month or like that couple of weeks. Yeah, so I am just gonna, just have it off, and so I'm just, yeah. So I'm just gonna check the alignment real quick here. And what I really like about these tabs is that I can just take them off and wriggle a bit to the right place if need be. It doesn't really, it's not like you stick it and it's done for good. So if you mess up, it's really not the end of the world. So you might notice that there's a bit of a different color. So the yearly, monthly, and weekly tabs actually came from another set that I bought previously earlier in the year, and I used this in my Hobonichi 5 year, and obviously the notes tab on that is already used. So I end up having, I now have like my notes tab in grey instead of purple, but I think I quite like having the different colors, so it works for me. So now that bit is settled, I'm gonna start tabbing up the monthly section with the rest of the muted pastels monthly tabs. So for this I'll start in April because this is April start weeks, and if it's anything like when I tabbed out of my 5 year, this is gonna take a while. The first one's always the fastest because there's nothing to align it to, but everything else, well, it's gonna take a while. So the first one is done, and now it's to it's time to put in like the second one, and that's where it gets difficult. So what I like to use for this is my grit pencil board. This is by Hobonichi for the A6, which is what I bought to use with my Day-Free. I got another one for the Weeks, but it's also by Hobonichi, but it's the pattern one that doesn't have a grid. So I like the grid because the grid actually allows me to align things, so it's slightly easier to see things and like where it all lines up. So I'll just peel off one first, make sure it's on hand. Align the bottom of that grid line, the bottom of the tab with the grid line, right? And the only issue here would be that if, let's say, the only tricky bit I would say is because I have it all aligned here and like, it looks correct, but I can't stick it on this page, so I have to flip it, and sometimes the board moves when you flip, like despite our best efforts. So fingers crossed this works out, but if it doesn't, as previously evidenced, though I'm not sure if evidence is a word, well, we can always move this. Yep, so fingers crossed. Right, that looks alright. It looks, nope, it does not. I'm just gonna adjust it again. So these are really adjustable, which I like. I have actually peeled off the entire thing like after it's been attached, and it still worked out. So yeah, there's like a 2 mm gap there, and I do not like that. So I'm just gonna take everything off and do it again. I really have not filmed anything in way too long. I can't remember how to do things when there's a phone in my face. Like, as I'm filming this, really, like the phone is in my face and it's a bit awkward. I really have not filmed things in really long, so this angles thing is a little bit tricky. I need to get back into practice, or maybe find a better angle. We will see. Hopefully I hope to turn this into a bit of a series kind of thing, so hopefully I figure this out. I remember I used to put my camera really high up so that I could see what I was doing, but I had this habit of sticking my face really close to the planner, and then or whatever I was doing, and basically all you'd see is my head. There we go, that looks a lot better. Yep. So now for the rest of it, I'm just going to speed this part up a bit, otherwise we'll be here for a long while, and I don't think I can talk for that long. Neither do I think you want to hear me talk for that long. So one thing that comes to tabbing is that I can never decide whether I want to tab it up on the first full week of the month, or do I tab on the page that the first of the month lands on. So I tend to do the first of the month because to me that's when the month starts. But still, if you're planning to tab out your own planner, I'm just going to include a disclaimer here, like this video is sped up. I'm definitely not this fast. I think it took me like probably 20 minutes at least just to tab up like April into like next March. So yeah, it does take a while. The grid pencil board definitely helps. Like partway through doing this, I realized that the pencil board also has these like pink dots like along the side, so I started using that as a reference for like the line that I was lining up with the tab. So it definitely helped a lot more than trying to remember which of the very many lines over here that, like, which one was I using as a guideline. I was literally like, is this the, is it like the first one, the second one? Is it the first full line? Is it the first dotted one, or the first, not dotted one? Yeah, the pencil board helps, and like the dots also help. So this, you don't have to use this. You can use like other grid things, but I found that this really helped. anyway, maybe a little bit of, shall we say, insight into how this was recorded. If you notice, my tenses are flying around a little bit. Like, I can't decide whether I'm doing this now or not. Essentially, I did record this initially, and then because I knew I was going to speed it up, I didn't talk. So I am talking over the edited video, which is why some of my tenses get a bit funny. But I hope that the point gets across. I would like to do something in real time next time, if only because it will actually be a lot easier to edit. But in this case, I mean, as previously mentioned, I don't think that 20 minutes of tapping is something anybody wants to sit through. And also, I'm not sure if I could talk for 20 minutes straight while trying to align things. I'm probably likely to make a mountain of mistakes. So this was kind of my decision on what to do, but I might change it up in the future, who knows. So here with February, I actually messed up. So I put the entire tab down, and then I realized it's the week of 5th of February, which is not what I do. I put it on the 1st of the month, so that's the totally wrong page. And the great thing about these is that I can just peel it off gently and tab it onto the right page. So these tabs are pretty forgiving, I would say. Like I quite like them about I quite like that about them. There is a little bit of glue residue after that, but generally with glue residue, what I like to do is that I'll just take an eraser and use the eraser to like get the glue off. So here I'm using my very tiny Tombow mono eraser. This is like a 2.3 mm tip thing that gets the glue off more or less. The pencil board also helps with leveling the surface below so that there isn't a weird like bump and the glue doesn't come off nicely. Yep. So yeah, last tab and we are done. Thankfully that was the only one that I put on a really wrong page. I had to peel it off entirely. I've also had situations where I accidentally tabbed like 2 pages together instead, and like yeah, same thing. I just peel it off the wrong page, tab it properly, and then just take the eraser to erase the glue residue. So it's really cute. It's an entire rainbow, and yeah, I really love it. Now I have to decide: do I use the brown craft sticker or the white one? So the brown craft sticker here is actually my second choice. I bought it because the white one was out of stock. Then I was really lucky that someone local to me had an extra she was willing to sell, but now I'm looking at it, I can't decide. Like, the white is what I originally wanted, but it's really bright, and the brown is like more discreet, but you know what, I'll decide later. Let's set a broad first. So I got these monthly kits also from TCMC, and it's my first time using any sort of kit in any plan at all, so I'm quite excited to see how it turns out. Aligning things perfectly with your phone in your face is probably not going to be easy, but we'll see how this goes. I really might need to find a better angle for like future videos. So this kit is Sakura season themed, which is quite appropriate given that it's like Hanami right now, I think, or if it isn't, it's coming up. I'm seeing a lot of travel photos in like on Instagram and Facebook, and just everybody's traveling. Oh, I'm so jealous. But I will just enjoy the Sakura stuff, like on my planet instead. So there's this really cute like emoji Sakura illustration here. I'm just gonna stick it slightly below. I'm gonna leave some of the original text there because I don't like covering every single little bit of the original planner. I feel like if I bought a planner, it's for a reason, and I want to preserve some of the original elements of the planner. That being said though, I am still going to use the date covers, like the day covers, I think I should call them. So the Monday all the way into the Sunday, because they're just so cute, and I mean it fits the theme. So yeah, it's also Sakura themed, and it just goes straight across, which is quite easy. One thing I noticed here is that like it does make the page curl a bit. At first I thought it was the way I pasted the sticker, but I think it's just the way it is. Or maybe I pasted it wrongly and like and peeling it off just made it curlier. So we'll see. And with the top bit done, now I need to decide what else to put in. There are a lot of stickers here. I think I'm just going to start by using the date covers, but maybe not the entire thing, just for the weekends and the public holidays and other special days. The red is a little bit jarring, and then the grey, well, I must as well do both. So I don't want to cover everything though. Like like I said earlier, like I like to preserve what is, the original, what's in the original. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like my planner to be all sticker. It just feels firstly very bulky. It'll bulk it up a lot, and secondly, like it kind of feels like, then why did I buy this? Yeah, getting it all to line up nicely is, I have to admit, a little bit tricky though. I might eventually, or rather I might just, invest in one of those tweezers. I can kind of see why people use those pointed tweezers now. I might have to get one just to try and see if it helps. So the date covers are actually kind of like color coded to the rest of the theme for the month. So it's like pink, greens, blues, which is really nice. And just for fun, I'm just going to stick a date cover on my anniversary as well, like, as a special day kind of thing. It also happens to be a day of, I think there's an eclipse or something on that day, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, and there's also Good Friday, which is a public holiday, so that's going on there. So that is, I would say, most of the decoration done. So now I'm going to replicate that focus list into the sidebar, and I'm going to be using my Tombow Dentist kit here. It's a lot wetter on Tomo River paper for some inexplicable reason. Alright, so just for fun, I am going to use these little dot stickers from the kit for individual items. So again, color themed and all. It's a bit bigger than I would like. I'm not sure how to space them out, but I'm just gonna stick a few in and then fill in later. I haven't really set, as of filming anyway, I haven't really did like my end of month, end of quarter review sort of thing. So the only thing that I have so far for my April, oh my goodness, I just jumped 4 months into the future, is goal is to do yoga, like I think 1.5 times a week, which is basically 3 times every 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm trying to increase it slowly from like once a week. So that is my spread mostly done. I just need to put in my appointments now. So this is my Hobonichi Day-Free in the original A6 size, which is what I started the year with. A Day-Free has like monthly and yearly pages followed by grid pages, so I usually put all my appointments into the Day-Free first because, well, it was there first, and it's all color coded, so now I'm just gonna duplicate it into the weeks. So in the Day-Free, I do my color coding by highlighting an entire row, but I think I'm going to change it up in the weeks. Instead of coloring a whole row, I'm just going to use my clean color dot markers to color code the dots beside each appointment. So I used about 5 colors here. For work, I used the oatmeal, which is a really nice brown, and English lavender, which is light purple. And then for like house stuff, things that needs to get done because I'm in the process of moving and settling a few rental things, like
for things like that, I use what they call pale turquoise. And for personal stuff, fun stuff, I use pink. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I use pink. I use baby pink. And for like health stuff or like study stuff, so like yoga classes, Japanese class, yeah, things that are, I guess, it's kind of like self-care, but it's also like educational. I'm not sure what umbrella this falls under, but like regular stuff, I suppose. I use pale mint. So the funny thing about these colors is that they don't really show up that well on Tomoe River paper, so I do have to like scrub it in. But they are really strong on regular paper because those papers are more absorbent. It's quite interesting to see how the colors turn out in comparison actually. So the other thing that I really like using here is the pen that I'm using. So I recently went back to gel pens because they're just a little bit easier to work with sometimes. And this is the Uniball 1F. It's double the price of the standard Uniball 1, but they weighted the tip down so that there's a nice weight when you're writing. And I particularly like the clip. So it's more expensive, but it's just really pretty. This is the 0.38, which writes pretty dark, and I can't do a 0.5 in Hobonichi planner simply because the grids are so tiny. The grid is basically like a 3.7 grid, so it is pretty small. So that's the appointments done. Now I'm just going to plonk in some the public holidays for this month. I'm using a Sarasa vintage, Sarasa Grand Vintage in red black. So I do kind of still do the traditional like public holidays get written in red situation, but I don't like bright red. So this dark red is a really nice compromise. And then just real quick, I'm gonna put this sticker in here. It's made for this section, so I'm not sure what exactly it's for, so it might just be decorative. Maybe I'll put my highlights at the end of the month or something, but for now, like, it kind of helps tie the whole look together, so I like that. And that's my monthly spread done. Not sure what I'm going to do with the extra stickers, so I will just tuck it into this back pocket here. So the last bit of setup for the weeks for now would be setting up next week's weekly spread. It's nothing really fancy. I like what I've been doing, which I kind of like flipped through earlier, so I am once again just going to repeat what I've been doing. Just drawing in my columns with light grey. This is the double-sided clean color dot marker, so this one is the grey. So the ones that I was using previously are only single-sided. I don't know why, but it only comes to a single side. The double-sided one has like a matching what do you call it, like a matching bullet tip kind of situation on the other end for writing with. So just doing headers, and then yeah, just filling in my appointments, and as well as the public holiday. There's Good Friday coming up. I'll probably go in with the pen and put in the appointments later on, because yeah, it's a lot of flipping, and I'm a bit bored. So that is my Hobonichi Weeks done. Oh no, wait, I forgot. I still need to decide on the sticker for the cover. So this is refreshing cute, but I think I would go with the craft. It does pick up on the rainbow tabs on the side really subtly, and it's less in your face. In case I haven't mentioned it yet, this week's is the Champagne Gold Weeks edition. It's the Champagne Gold Weeks, and it's the spring edition, so it starts in April. It's the Japanese one. I think spring doesn't come in English, but I don't mind at all since I am learning Japanese, so hopefully one day I will be able to read whatever's inside. So we're done. It's so cute. Alright, so now just to finish off my April setup, I'm going to set up my day free as well. So you've seen this earlier with all the appointments and everything, so the only thing left for me to do here on this page anyway is to set up my parcel tracker. So I'm using my Decorush tape, and what I really like about it is that I can just use a sand eraser to take it off if I change my mind or if it doesn't turn out well. And then I am going to letter in parcel because it feels shorter than packages by maybe a few letters, and it's quite a tight space. Yeah, I was right, this is quite a tight space. I might have to do something monoline or just all caps or something simpler next month instead. Alright, so that would be the header part, and I want to have like little dots along the side, but like kind of similar to what I have in the weeks, but the weeks kit does have a limited number of circles, so I'm just going to try my best to match with clean colored dot markers instead. So that's still kind of in keeping with the theme without having to go overboard too much. So I'll link the various stationaries that I use in the description below, and what would be next is just setting up my weekly section. So I don't really do, no wait, daily section because my weeklies are in the weeks. Alright, so I use my day free in a more traditional bullet journal sort of way. So I tab each month as I go along. So these are my April pages that I'm setting up. There's not much setup to do. I just need to tab the first page so that I know where it starts. Honestly, I could do this at the end of the month as well, but I prefer to do it at the start. And so that's the first page tab and done. And as you can see from the march, you may have gotten a glimpse. I do a bit of a time tracker sort of situation. So the traditional bullet journal style that I want to say discovered, I'm not sure if it's the right word, but when I came across bullet journals back in, I think it was probably 10 years ago now, and that makes me feel really old. The monthly log that they had was basically a vertical situation like what I'm doing here. So I used that initially in the way it was intended to be used, which was like your appointments go into it, and I felt it was a bit tedious because sometimes I have more than one appointment a day. So I went back to a traditional calendar style for that, but I do feel that this vertical calendar situation is pretty useful in tracking time and sleep and things like that, so that's what I use it for. I do use it to track appointments, but not really in a planning sort of sense, but more in a retroactive kind of sense. So I have the dates and days along the side vertically, and then I have the time going across in the other axis, and then I'll just fill it up with like my sleep and my various appointments, and well, it looks nice at the end of the month. So that's my week setup for the year, and both planners all set up and ready for April. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if there's anything you'd like to see, I guess leave it in the comments below, and I'll hopefully see you next week. Bye!